Welcome to Pawnee, Indiana, the greatest town in America. Pawnee is home to the fourth obese city in America and home to Sweetums and everybody's favorite mini horse, Little Sebastian. We will be talking about one of the greatest television shows of all time, Parks and Recreation. Over the course of this podcast, we will discuss iconic characters, memorable moments, and how an original idea of a spinoff of The Office turned into something greater. I am your host, William DeVere, and let's talk about Parks and Rec. Let's begin the episode by starting it. The first thing we are going to talk about is the first thing we are going to talk about. Today, we are going to discuss Aziz Ansari's portrayal of Tom Haverford. Look, I have to be totally honest with you. Out of all the characters on Parks and Rec, Tom is my least favorite. Tom is arrogant, rude, self-centered, narcissistic, selfish, and is basically an immature man-child. April and Andy can be both those things, but she has redeeming qualities, and Andy's just Andy. It's hard not to love him, but with Tom, it isn't. He is disrespectful to his boss, Ron Swanson, sometimes even to Leslie Knope, who he should be respectful to everyone in the Parks Department. He's always making a pass at Anne, and he's so downright mean to poor old sweet Jerry. But it isn't the writer's fault on Parks and Rec, nor is it Aziz Ansari's fault either. They made it pretty intentional. Tom isn't supposed to be likable. There is always going to be a lazy, narcissistic person in every office, not just on TV, but anywhere in the real world. I bet you can count at least one Tom that you work with. But Tom is more layered than that. The writers make Tom funny, laughable, and even sometimes sweet at times, like what we're going to be talking about later. Ansari makes Tom not the villain, but someone you can dislike, but even sometimes like at times. Ansari brings enough comedic relief and enough attitude to make Tom amazing. Even when he acts like a narcissist, you're still laughing because Ansari makes the scene funny instead of just downright hating Tom. But there was one thing throughout the show that made me hate Tom. He became meaner and downright cruel to Jerry. Jerry is always the butt of jokes from his coworkers, and Tom mainly starts it and probably laughs and mocks him the hardest. Tom is showing very bad behavior in an office, and he should be nice to Jerry because Jerry's one of his coworkers, and he should treat his coworkers the same. What makes it funny is Tom's jokes about poor Jerry, like from saying Jerry has a cute butt, from mocking him with his urinal, making fun of his home life. Of course, Tom is definitely jealous. He doesn't have a wife that looks like Christy Brinkley, but Jerry does. And the worst of it all is he laughs when Jerry has his fart attack, which we will also be talking about later. But his behavior got a whole lot of karma coming back to him in the end. You see Tom hit rock bottom in the finale. All of his businesses, Entertainment 720, Rent-A-Swag, Tom's Bistro, have all failed. And Tom is crying deep in his sorrows. But we do see something change in Tom, which I will thank the writers for forever. I believe Michael Schur and Amy Poehler wrote the final episode. They are heroes. They did so good with it, and they made Tom redeemable. He writes a self-help book to people who are failing like him, and he becomes a motivational speaker and actually helps people who are in the same situation as him. Granted, that means he is spreading a lot of narcissistic qualities and Tom mannerisms to other people, but it's Tom. He has spent years at the Parks and Recreation Department, but we haven't seen him truly help someone. And at the end, he is truly helping others, which is a great thing to see, even when he's still mocking Jerry in his book, and Jerry doesn't care one bit. Boy, I love Jerry. I think that is a great ending for Tom. I'm getting kind of bored talking about the bad qualities of Tom. I think it's time we need to talk about all the good moments of Tom Haverford throughout the show. Tom had his great moments. Without him, there would be no John Ralphio. There would be no hilarious jury jokes. I can't believe I'm saying that because they are so cruel but so funny. Without Tom, most importantly, there would be no John Ralphio, which we will be talking about right now. John Ralphio, John Ralphio, John Ralphio, John Ralphio. A lot of people think he is annoying and loud and think that he is the worst character on Parks and Rec, but he isn't. He is super annoying. That's what makes him stand out. He is very annoying, very crazy, but whenever he is on screen, we can't help to laugh and cheer for him every time he's on screen. Ben Schwartz, who plays John Ralphio, is amazing. He is also amazing on another show called The After Party, streaming on Apple TV+. No one else could have played John Ralphio. And Aziz and Ben are dynamite when it comes to the Tom and John Ralphio duo. They are so funny whenever they are on screen together, whenever they're at the Snake Hole Lounge or at Entertainment 720. I love the scene where Tom and John Ralphio throw fake money in the air and it kind of lands near Ben. And Ben, typical Ben, is not having it. And without John Ralphio comes with a bonus. Mona Lisa Saperstein, Jenny Slate, was impeccable. Every time that manipulative little brat was on screen, she made the scene 10 times better. Mona Lisa is 10 times worse than both John Ralphio and Tom in 10 lifetimes. She is selfish, dependent, loud, narcissistic times a million. But we see throughout the show Tom not putting up with Mona Lisa. And in the one first scene, Mona Lisa was the end. She wanted to go, and if Tom wouldn't let her go, leave work early, she would have set fire to the store. And Tom says, no, I think you really need to stay and work. And Mona Lisa keeps making threats, and Tom holds on for a while saying, I really think you need to stay. It's getting very busy. But Mona Lisa makes so much threats that Tom starts to get scared and lets her go. I think it's probably good that he let her go. I mean, if she stayed, she definitely would have set fire to the back of Rena Swag. But it just goes to show that Tom isn't this one-dimensional narcissistic person. He actually deep down cares about the people he works with, even Jerry at times. And he wants to see them succeed, and he actually cares about them. Even Mona Lisa, which is hard to care about. That's into our second thing that without Tom Haverford on the show we wouldn't have, which is treat yourself. Once a year, Tom collaborates with Donna and treats themselves to various stores and exclusive restaurants. I've not talked about Donna very much over the course of this podcast, but she is amazing. Retta is so good. We'll talk about that when we get to our Donna episode. This episode is in season 4, episode 4. Pawnee Rangers. I just love it when the DJ comes into the building with his boombox on 11 and announces that Tom Haverford is in the building. This is when Tom is at Entertainment 720 and he makes a flashy appearance, and Donna and Tom are singing their song Treat Yourself 2011, and they are off to go treat yourself. But this is the episode where Ben also tags along at the suggestion of Donna. Ben's already down in the dumps because of his recent breakup with Leslie. Tom already thinks beforehand that Ben's a nerd and he's going to ruin their day. Ben does tag along. Throughout the day, Tom and Donna are having the time of their lives, buying exotic stuff, having a spa day, while Ben just buys socks. But the sweetest moment for Tom in that episode is when Ben breaks down in full Batman costume about he's going to treat himself. He first mocked him when he put on the Batman costume. I probably would mock him too, but what he does is he consoles him about his relationship, not knowing at the time that it is Leslie. Tom has his sweet moments, you guys, but I gotta tell you, Tom and Donna have a very underrated relationship. Every time they were on screen, it lit. And I think that brings us into our transition into the top 3 Tom Haverford moments for Parks and Rec. Coming first in at number 3 is Tom mocking Jerry while he's having a quote-unquote fart attack. This is in Season 5, Episode 5, Halloween Surprise. Jerry is having a full-on heart attack after Leslie and Ann accidentally scared him on a prank that was originally supposed to be for Tom after when Tom was supposed to come out of the bathroom, but instead it was Jerry. When Tom finally comes out while Jerry's in the middle of his heart attack, he says, "Oh, Jesus, Jerry, did a dinosaur just fart?" Jerry apologized and Tom remarks, "Apology not accepted." But when he finally learns that Jerry is having a fart attack, he apologizes, and it's really sweet because Tom really does care about Jerry. He just likes to mock Jerry. But at the hospital, Jerry's getting love from all of his coworkers, and Tom just wants to hear the doctor say that Jerry had a fart attack. I cannot help but laugh at this scene. Tom is hilarious. Aziz was in hilarious. Gemma O'Hara, who faked the heart attack playing Jerry, was hilarious. Everyone in that scene was super hilarious. I want to apologize to Jerry. I am so sorry, Jerry, but that was such a funny scene. And number 2 is celebrating after Mona Lisa finds out she is not pregnant. This is in Season 5, Episode 22, Are You Better Off? Tom was sadly in a relationship with the worst person in the world, Mona Lisa. There was a pregnancy scare at Ron's cabin, and he fears that Mona Lisa is pregnant with his baby. And Mona Lisa lies about it, and Tom is scared, knowing that they'll have to start a life together. He has to spend the rest of his life with her, and John Ralphio is also there to hear the news also. But it was a prank the whole time. She says, "Wait, no," and laughs. And Tom is so happy. Mona Lisa's making fun, saying, "Look at that guy's face," jumping up and down like a little child on Christmas, and John Ralphio jokingly mocks him for it. Hilarious scene. But my favorite moment of Tom throughout the show is coming in at number 1, Tom going out to lunch with Ben and Joan Calamezzo, Season 4, Episode 3, Born and Raised. Love this episode. This is the one where Leslie goes on Pawnee Today to share about her book about Pawnee and tries to get a sticker for Joan's book club on it, and instead gets the gotcha dancers because Joan did some investigating journalism and found that Leslie was not born in Pawnee. Tom and Ben take Joan out to lunch to get that sticker, but Joan gets completely wasted. She makes obscene remarks and sings a horrible version of "Let's Hear It for the Boys." And while Tom and Ben are just sitting in disbelief, Aziz Ansari, Adam Scott, and Mo Collins, who plays Joan Calamezzo, are amazing in this scene. Tom and Ben care about Joan's well-being, and they take her home, which is surprising. And her bedroom has exotic pictures of her, and her bedroom is very fancy, like it could come out of the magazine. As they are dragging her onto the bed, Ben remarks, "Where the H am we?" And Tom feels her. She's in that episode is just great. That is all the time we have for today's show. It has been very fun talking to you about Tom. Join us next time as we direct away from our main characters and talk about why Paul Schneider's character, Mark Brandanowicz, did not work and why Parks and Rec made the right move to cut his character out from the show. I really hope you enjoyed this version of the podcast. I know I have. Once again, thanks to Aaron Parker and LaPorte High School, and I'll see you next time on Parks and